So when I started building this game prototype, I started by making the build cursor be controlled by the mouse. And then later when I added gamepad support, I made the decision to make the gamepad control the mouse cursor, and then the mouse cursor would control where the build cursor was. Now that decision works fine for when the players are trying to build something in the center of the screen, and they can go up and down or left to right very easily. If they're trying to build something on the side of the screen though, it becomes very easy for the build cursor to slip. And that's because the camera isn't directly flat on with the grid. So as the player moves the mouse cursor down using the gamepad, the relative placement of the build cursor will shift. Now this has been driving me mad, and I've looked at various different solutions, many over-engineered and overly complicated systems, and none of them have really worked. And it's only just occurred to me that I could not control the build cursor using the mouse when you're using a gamepad. I could just control its placement directly in the world. So what I've done now is I've made some changes to the build cursor so that instead of using the gamepad to control the mouse and then the mouse to move the build cursor, the gamepad controls the build cursor directly, which means it's much easier to draw straight lines around the edge of the frame. This is great, and it's solved a problem that's been bugging me for ages, but it has now introduced a separate problem, which is that the build cursor can disappear off the frame and you can lose it entirely. So this is a separate problem. I'm going to have to think about how to solve that. At least I've solved a big problem that I had for a while.